Like, terrible. Oh, this is dope. Dope thing. That's cool, right? I look at two different angles. Let me prop the thing up so I can look at my Instagram crew as well as my YouTube. This works. Backwards. All right, all right, 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 right. Hey, gentlemen, gentlemen, this is the Hero Journey with Dr. D here to encourage, to motivate, to inspire, to educate, helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today. Today. Well, it's been a long 2 weeks. My stuff has been inconsistent to be modest. And have not been able to do any real good features because I've been working on my other segment, which Ride and Share with Dr. D. And after we get through this broadcast, I'll try to make sure that I load some of the Ride and Share onto the YouTube so my YouTube family can partake on the material. I got stuff on the IG, so some people may see the they may see the videos on the IG. However, they you may not see things on the YouTube until I put them there. So this is a Hero's Journey with Dr. D. And as I stated before, to encourage, to motivate, to inspire, to educate, helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today. So journey today will be a recap, update, and Q&A, or a preview, update, and Q&A. Today, I decided to make a hero's rant. And the rant topic of today is on value. I have a clip of a video I'm not going to play right now because I uploaded it earlier, but you will see on the YouTube. I do encourage and ask you all to um, just comment on the video or what you think. It's about 2 minute video of a ride and share clip talking about values. Let me do some housekeeping right now and go to my chat line and see if anybody's on my chat line uh, on the IG or the Instagram because that's what I'm doing both. I'm doing You see me looking up, I'm looking at my IG, see him looking down, I'm looking at my YouTube, but I'll see both at the same time. So it's all copacetic. It's copacetic. So hopefully I can get the sound to my IG artists can hear the the YouTube and the YouTube can hear the IG. It doesn't matter. I'll repeat the information. So right now, I will put in my link over into my YouTube and uh, all right. Uh, I'm putting it right now. Enter. So I put my YouTube information into. All right. All right. Good. I put it in the Twitch as well as the YouTube comment section. Let me know if my sound is clear or if it's choppy, and maybe a little choppy on the YouTube. But I've noticed through previous broadcasts that things tend to move more fluid as time progresses. I think there's a storm here in North Carolina. and that messed up some wiring. But that's no excuse because it's been times where the wiring was messed up and it was not a storm. So I put in my and I put the links into the in the comment section. So if anybody's on and would like to get on the Q&A, please connect the link now. So when I get to that part of this session, then you can just come on and then we can chop it up. Chop it up. All right. Let me cut this music down. Let me know if my sound's okay or it's bad, or if it's choppy, or my visual okay if it's bad or if it's choppy. Sometimes I can adjust it, and sometimes it's just gonna be the way it's gonna be. Yeah, sometimes it's gonna be the way it's gonna be, and that's all right. Let me put mute on that, and I can put that in the background. All right, good. You're good. Okay, but but I got another thing that says the storm is passing over. Hallelujah. All right. Okay. Good. Still chat. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. So I really wish I had. Let me see if I can pull up my I just I downloaded the just give me a brief moment. I am going to see if a clip has already on my side. If my clip has came up on my Google Drive, then what we'll do, we'll play it and then we'll comment on it. Okay, just give it time. Hallelujah. It pitch is dark. Okay, it's back on there, right? I said, just give me time. It went dark because I went away. It went dark because I went away. All right. All right. Give me a second. Hold on a second. I'm going to move instant show. Recent. I do apologize. I think it went away. And you're freezing. Yeah, I know. It froze because I went off the air. So I'm just going to not do that because it's just delaying everything. So let me know if I'm back on. So I'll stop talking before I'll start talking when I get back on. All right. I feel am I back on? Storms of life are raging in my life. Sing night and day. Dun, 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 dun. Mm, reassure. All right, come on. All right, let's talk about it. Now, what I talk. Mm-hmm, mm, mm. Okay, let me stop that. Okay, now what I was saying earlier on my topic is about values. I had a couple of different clips on my riding share with Dr. D. If you For those you all do not know, I have another segment on my on the YouTube channel called Ride and Share with Dr. D, and I will be doing a lot more clips and videos on that, so you all can comment or share. And I think it should be more entertaining and informative because I will have a variety of different people get into the Uber. I'm doing a ride share, so that's what's a ride and share. And so some people share, some people listen, and but all in all, I believe people get a it gets some assistance that's needed. I had a gentleman, he was going back to Mississippi today, and he was saying how he enjoyed the ride, but it was like a 40-minute ride, and he was actually talking about things in his hometown. He talked about sports for the most part, and he talked about how his congregation joins up with other congregations of different types of people, and just builds a better fellowship. Because after all, isn't life about building community or building relationships? Because it's not building a relationship or building community. All we are doing are building buildings. And buildings are the things that they may stay, but the people in them will leave. But what type of memory will you have in the standing building when the person that was made for leaves? All right. I don't know. I don't know what type of person or what type of standing do you have for the person who leaves. So, so with that being said, that was one take. Um, Let me see where wave. And the other take is that I talk about values because I had a gentleman that was on the a gentleman that I picked up the previous day, and I did a video about him when I should have had I should have had the video instead of doing it in between. And he actually told me, why didn't you have the video on? Because sometimes you get so engrossed in the conversation and uh, and, and giving substance and helping people out, then you forget about the video and just about you forget about the video and focus on the person. And a lot of times that's what happens. I forget about the video and I focus on the person. So is that a bad thing or a good thing? And I don't know. I don't know. Forget about the video and focus on the person. All I know is that when the person leaves, I may have affected them. I may have helped them. And when it all comes down to it, isn't about helping, or is it about the video, or is it about a little bit of both? I don't know. Maybe you'll give me comments and you let me know of what you think and what's your comments on what I am saying. But he told me he was telling me that he's young. He's young, and I was picking him up from a doctor's office. He was getting taking care of himself. I asked him what his profession was. He said he was a doctor, a physician. Now I looked at him and said, man, he's kind of young. He looked like he was in his 40s, and he wasn't. He was just 30 years old. I said, you must have went straight through. And he said he did. He went straight through, right through the residencies, and now he's 30 years old, and he finished all his white coat and everything, and he's a full-fledged doctor. And that was impressive. But what was more impressive, the conversation we had about values, and said that he has four brothers and sisters, or no, four sisters. They six kids, and he's the middle child, and he's the son. And he said his father's a pastor, but he did financial advising early in his career, and he was in the military. Um, and he said his father just started doing pastoral work, and I inquired about why now, and he said because his father thought that his home was the first church that needed to be taken care of. He needed to ensure that he built a firm foundation with his children's wife, because his children's wife before he went out to the outer courts to reach everybody else. It's almost like a person, a gardener, going and counseling everybody else in the community about their lawn, their grass, their produce, but his produce is dying. He did not want to be the gardener who lived with his house jacked up, but helped everybody else's. Even in the book, it says you need to be a living epistle read by all men, and you read by all men by your works as well as your talk. Faith without work is dead being alone. But what better example is it to have an example in your home? Not you alone, but in your home with the one that you influence the most. So I thought that was just powerful. It's it's interesting how we think the simple things are not the most powerful things. We look for all the grandiose things, church of 20,000, doing this, making this much money, doing all that stuff. But all that really matters is that when you leave, what do you leave behind? What have you left in your tracks? What is your legacy? Mm, what's your legacy? What will be your legacy? It depends on what your value is. What do you value and who do you value? So that's pretty my gist on that. So I'm going. My Q&A is my let me see. That's the end of my recap, so to speak. And now my update is that I'm working on a lot of things, y'all. I'm working on some guided meditation. Let me know what you think about the things that I'm saying I'm working on. Put a comment down in the section, in the comment section. I promise you, I will respond. I'm working on more, uploading more of my ride and share videos. Put in the comment section your thoughts about them. And a new one is that if you want me to do a recap on specific videos that you like and just interested in my point of view was clinical and real talk, please send me the video. You ask me to look for the video, send me the video, and I promise I'll get to it. I mean, if it's within reason, I'll get to it and I will do a recap video. I think that's another segment that needs to be done. All right. All hearts, mind clear. This that's low. Where am I clapping at? Okay. All hearts and minds clear. So what I'll do, Renee, I'll see you on Instagram. Is anybody on YouTube? I put the links in, so let me know if you're coming on or not. Mm. All right. Let me put another link in. Guess. I put it in the comment section. Paste. All right. Okay. All right. I got the comments in there. Now, let me see who popping up. Is this Renee? Invite. Yep. I guess Renee, you be coming on soon. All right. All right. All right. Come on. Oh, all right. Renee. Okay. Oh, all right. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
All right. Hey Phil, what's up? I have Cammy. What's up, Renee? Renee. Okay. How's it sound?
Great. Yeah, sounds good.
Good. So what do you think about values?
It's one of the borders of your life, your values. Uh, I think it's amazing. Young man, wow, I guess his father really helped him to know what he wanted and, not waste time. He knew what he wanted and he just went straight through, you know. I think that's awesome. Yeah, you have to have values. That's gonna, I think that determines how you flow in this life. And what are your values? What do you value? Um, yeah,
Right.
amazing story. 30-year-old physician. Wow. Yeah, he definitely went straight through.
Yeah. Yes. Straight through. I was impressed. I I was thoroughly impressed that I don't know if I was impressed more so that he went straight through. That was impressive. The focus. Um, but I think I was impressed with what he told me about his parents. About his parents about not wanting to inflict the burden of ministry on the family when at the same time realizing that the family was the ministry.
Mhm.
So when you realize the family was the ministry, then you can focus on their well-being, mentally, emotionally, socially, as well as spiritually. So that was impressive to me. But Phil says value is sometimes something politicians don't have, and then he said value is the regard that something is held to deserve. They don't sound like it's proper English, but the importance, worth, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something.
Mhm.
The regard that something is held to deserve. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. I guess you can also uh, understand you have values, and then, what do you value, you know, and how much you value it. And that's going to determine, how your life will flow, you know?
Yeah. You have values, but what do you value? And how do you value it?
Mhm. Some people value success at all costs. That's their values. They think it's um, the ends justify the means. Obviously, that young man valued consistency. About focus, hard work. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. You know, his parents instilled values in him. Yeah, that's wow.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah. Uh, Phil asked a good question. He says, Doc, do you think values is something that can be learned? Yes, they can be learned. I think values is something that can be learned and unlearned.
Mm. Yeah, I agree.
Because something, yeah, Phil said, our parents teach us values, but the kids go out into the world. and sometimes they go astray. Yeah, but sometimes our parents, I agree with that feel. However, sometimes our parents teach us the values that are wrong, and then it's adjusted. Yeah, sometimes the value you got that wrong. Sometimes the values teach us somebody parents teach us values that are incorrect. But then again, when do you change your point of view? When you realize that that ain't right? When do you realize that? When you think that's realized? Phil Renee, what you think? When do you think that's realized? When you realize that the value that you grew up believing that was ironclad was off.
Yeah, sometimes that depends on your level of maturity, your level of enlightenment. Sometimes you can put your parents and what they've taught you on a pedestal, then you grow up and you see things differently, and you realize, no, there's a different perspective. Um, maybe things aren't quite the way you thought they were. Um, so yeah, you definitely, I think you can learn values, unlearn them. Sometimes you grow up, you challenge things you used to believe, and then there's some people that never do that. They're just, you know, they have a set way of thinking, and that's just, they don't change. That's just how they live their life.
Is you think that is that good or bad?
Hmm. I think it can be either. I just think it depends on the person and how they live their life and what do they accomplish with their lives. I think success is very individual. I mean, my personal true success is fulfilling the will of God. But that's different for different people,
But
you
I'm
know?
about to ask, what does that look like? Yeah, what does it look like to fulfill the will of God? That it varies, right?
Right. So each person has to um, know God's will and purpose for their particular life, and they can assess, you know, how much have they accomplished. So the person who has certain values instilled by their parents, and let's say um, they never change that, they always, have a particular way of seeing things. It could be successful, it may not. It all just depends on their particular life and the outcomes.
Right. I believe that I say this often, eat the meat, spit out the bones. However, our parents or our situations in which we are raised are very influential in determining our framework. Um, it's all a part of a paradigm or a program. And if your parents are trying to abide by the word of God, of course, they may make some errors. Yeah, they may make some errors and some mistakes, but the foundation is on the word of God. And I believe that most parents that I know were trying their best to make their children better. Now, in that process, will the children always be happy about um, the responses that the parents give to their desires? Nope. But that's why they're the parents. Because I promise you that while the kids are not uh, all that adoring to every whim does not answer with a yes, um, then when they get older, they'll appreciate the fact that the parents cared enough to protect them from themselves. But just
Yeah.
because we think we know something doesn't mean that we do. And even the book says you study, show yourself approved unto God, so you can be a workman, need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That all that implies that you have to do some work behind it. You have to study. Nothing's given to you. You got to go get it. It's like life. Then kids as well as adults. Well, some adults grew up and never grew up, and they're still in the mindset of a kid that they just mad because they don't have everything somebody else has. I mean, but somebody else went to go work for it, and you expect somebody to give it to you. And nothing's wrong with your hands or your feet or your mind. But if you start in a point of anybody gave it to me, then you'll never get it. And you be a sorry excuse for a man or woman.
Mhm.
I think our parents is a responsibility. It's an ownership of your actions as you move forward. And when you don't know, just ask questions. Just ask questions. No questions is a dumb question. What Renee said. Now, Phil said, I agree with Renee. I agree with Renee. Enlightenment can help change values. For example, think of parents that taught their children that racism was okay. What do you think about that, Renee?
Yeah, I don't know if parents. Uh, oh, yeah, I agree with him. Maybe the ideas that were racist, they would teach were okay. In their minds, I don't know if they saw it as racism. You know, they probably saw it as, oh, this should be this way. But yeah, their ideas may have been racist. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah, then times have changed. Younger generations come up, they grow up and realize, well, maybe the way we used to do things, maybe there's a better way. You know, um, I think being a parent, just from the outside looking in, is more than I put food on the table and clothes on your back. You know, it's like being a mentor, a teacher, um, a guide, um, talking to your children and helping them to assimilate, particular ideas. In between, I put food on the table and clothes on your back. And yeah, there's that's a lot. That's a really big responsibility, you know?
Yeah, but a lot of times kids don't see what goes into everything, especially when it's been happening. This thing is like I think sometimes this is what it's always happened. And then when it doesn't happen, what in the world? And then a lot of times I didn't see how I've never known my father working 9 to 5, but the bills are paid.
Mhm.
The bills are paid. I mean, I remember Christmas time. We didn't know. So sometimes we knew what was getting, but a lot of times we didn't know what was getting. But we knew Daddy went out, and Daddy went out. He did wholesales for like Walgreens, different stores in Chicago, and he actually worked for a wholesaler and got like chapstick and different things, and he stacked the shelves. So he would go into different stores and say, "I can stack your shelves for cheaper." And he said, "What you got, Daniel?" And he'll go. He said, "This is what I got." So he'll go to He had a couple of a wholesaling guy that he knew, and had a warehouse, and he'd get material for under the cost, and he'd sell it to the drugstore, and therefore one drugstore, generally the drugstores, all of them knew everybody. He said, "Man, you need to get this guy Daniels because he can get you a better rate." He went a couple more, and he stopped them every month. So that's how, and that's in the drugstores open in Chicago late night, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2, so 24 hours. So he may go late night and do it. I just knew that Sunday. I just knew that when Christmas came, we'd go out shopping. He'd come out with some money, give me and my brother 50-50, and we a lot of times we'd get a little bit more than that, but we had a budget. Than what you can get. Everybody wants to get the Atari, the new video game. Yeah, that was too much. It's like $20, $30 over the budget because we wasn't getting no videos, no video games with it. We just everybody in school had. It's like stuff now. Everybody in school had, and you want what everybody else has. So when you go home, I got this game, I got that game, and so when the person neighbor had the newest game, we wanted to go to his house to see the newest game. Didn't really care about his house, just cared about the game. Yeah, but hindsight, what he did wasn't wrong. I mean, he was more active. I mean, uh, he showed the values and appreciation of a dollar, and not taking the dollar for granted. And I mean, no shape or form, I'm a millionaire yet. But even when he get there, is appreciation on the road. Everybody, everybody looks at the end, but nobody appreciates the journey. They don't take time with I told my son the other day, I said, listen, repetition builds confidence. Now, we took what I was saying, repetition builds confidence. I mean, every great athlete, the reason why they're great is not because they're talented. They're great because they work ethic. LeBron wasn't just great in basketball; he was great in football, but people don't know
I didn't know that. Okay.
that. Allen Iverson wasn't just great in basketball; he was great in football. He was all state in football.
Wow.
He probably got more offers in football than basketball.
Mm.
When they at that fiasco with that fight, being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, um, I think he had him put in jail, whatever. Uh, that he almost didn't go. No, only person took a chance with him is Georgetown. Georgetown took a chance with Allen Iverson. That's why he went to college. Because at that fiasco at this skating ring, it was a fight. It's a brawl. And he didn't throw anything, but just being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. And that's why it's so important to know who you're hanging around with, because you may not be doing anything wrong, but people gonna judge you by those people. Oh, I ain't do nothing wrong. Okay, sure you did. And why you gonna hang around a thief all the time? Why you gonna hang around people that cussing all the time? People gonna assume that you uh, birds of a feather flock together. You know by the people. Even Bible says you know by the people that people you around. You are known by that. So you want to be known by it, even if you're not doing anything. Just keep your distance.
Right.
It seems an easy gesture, but they sometimes kids or just young adults have difficulty actually doing the easy things. The easy things become the most difficult things.
Mm.
But values are important. I mean, godly values are really important.
Hmm. I think that's one of the
They take you a
one
long
of the.
way. Mhm.
I think that's one of the greatest things we get from the Bible is good values, a good standard. You know, the Word of
Good
God,
principles.
and
Good principles.
right. Mm.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, yeah, the Word of God in the Bible
You said
is a good source of good values and good morals. You know.
it's good principles all around, even throughout history. Even people that not true believers in Christ per se, but they believe in the principles of the Bible.
Yeah.
Napoleon believed in the Bible. I mean, he read the Bible, study the Bible. Napoleon.
Mm.
I mean, a lot of people they said. I mean, it's number one bestseller all time. So you can't contradict that. And if a person pair Proverbs and James gives you great principles and wisdom bites to live by. I know this because I remember I was 19 years old and I was going through a rough patch, and I was reading my Bible. Reading my Bible, I was going through a rough patch. It's the same. You get to rough patch, you want to read your Bible, but I had a living Bible, And what became clear is, oh man, this thing worked. I was
Mm,
like, this thing is practical applications in life, family, and work as the model. I mean, I go through just proverb stuff is like simple things. Let me see. It wasn't that practical to me because I didn't have to worry about anything. You know, you're at home, you don't have to worry about nothing. But when I got on my own and was struggling to pay the bills, oh yeah, it became real practical. It's like every time I got up above and knocked back down, okay, I'll give you a couple. It says the right way and wrong way. My child, if you listen and obey my teachings, you will live a long time. That's I have shown you the way that makes sense. I have guided you along the right path. Your road won't be blocked. You won't stumble when you run. Hold firm to my teaching. Never let go. It will mean life for you. And that's all wisdom talking. Um, this is a good one. Don't ever think that you are wise enough, but respect the Lord and stay away from evil. This will make you healthy and you will feel strong. Honor the Lord by giving him your money and the first part of your crop. I mean, very practical applications. Yeah, Proverbs will teach you wisdom and self-control and how to understand sayings with deep meanings.
mm,
Practical applications. What Phil say? Phil said, Doc, what are three things a parent can do to instill good values and strong work ethic? Be consistent. Um, be be consistent. Do the things that you want to be done, and constantly work on being better. We say a whole bunch of things that we want to be done, but we don't work on ourselves. I think I'm constantly working on myself. Is a non is a never ending journey. You know, well, I think I know one thing. I realized I don't know anything
mm,
because I need to be. I need to be the best example possible for my kids. Because when I'm gone, all they have my memories. I remember principles that my mother taught. I remember not just principles. I remember life. So I don't really have to look at videos to think about my mother. I don't have to look at pictures to think about my mother. Think about her words, about her wisdom, about her not caring what people thought and just being the best version of herself. If anything, if anything that I received from my mother is that, you know, a lot of times people try to live for people. But last time I checked, um, the other person can't live my life.
mm,
I only got one life to live, and it's not their responsibility to live it. It's mine. So if you get so caught up on what other people may think or they may say, you need to evaluate your motives of why you're doing it. Because if you're doing everything for everybody else, what are you doing for God? Because
no,
it's important. Everybody want to be liked. Why? But no one, no, I get it. Nobody wants to be ostracized. I mean, put along, everybody talking about them. But if you can stand, if what Martin Luther King say, if you're not willing to die for anything, life's not worth living. Or you're not willing to stand for something. And even it's not about waiting till you get an adult, become an adult to stand. What can you stand on now? But I think what can you stand on when you're youth? Yeah, And I mean, I stood on stuff, and the high school football team, they respected me for it. You know, they joked, which kind of territory, but they like, oh, they couldn't believe that I was that honest and didn't care what people thought. But I realized that other people they're not going home with me. And I remember going back to my 20th reunion. They had some of my players, guys, they come to me and they would say, "Yo, Tank, man, I need you to pray for me." I mean, they just see me at the reunion. Man, I'm trying to turn on a leaf. Just need, and they remember me from high school.
Mm, wow.
Didn't really know how powerful my life was, even the simplest. I didn't know all the Bible. I didn't, yeah, but I had a standard, and no matter what people thought or said, it fazed me because when you start doing everything people, when you start acting based on what you want somebody to think about you, it's wrong motive, it's wrong reason. That's why the Bible teaches wisdom, application, and then your parents. If the parents, you eat the meat and spit out the bones. If I believe this also. If you really want to know if your parents are abiding by the word of God, and you honestly believe that your parents want the best in you, sometimes they can miss it. So that's why you
Yeah.
study your Bible. You study, show yourself approved unto God, so you can be a workman, need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So if that is the case, and Proverbs, the books of wisdom, as well as James in the New Testament, that you can go through it and say, yo, Dad, I know you said such and such, but I got this from this book. Doesn't say this right here, and see how they can explain it or not, because it's not about being always right about everything, because you're not gonna be always right about everything, but more about being understanding and listening. James 1:9 say, "Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to be angry." When you're so quick to be angry, that means you have a lack of self control. Not because you're born with lack of self control, because you choose not to work on controlling your emotions.
Mm,
You make a choice. Oh man, forget that. Yeah, yeah. Or and when somebody points out to you, and you got tools, use the tools,
mhm,
because you can grow up in a perpetual state of anger and not realize why you're always mad, because you ignored your father and mother when they try to tell you something. Oh, they don't know what you're talking about. They old. But you have to realize they lived your life. And Solomon said, nothing's new in the sun. Things are probably more ratchet. That's for sure. But nothing's really new.
mhm,
They're ratchet, but nothing's really through. It's new. I think Fields his last statement. He asked for three things. I said, be consistent. Um, I forgot the second thing I said. Uh, I did. What's the second thing I said? He said, what are three things a parent can do to instill good values and strong work ethic? I said, be consistent.
be
And what else?
consistent. Did you say um by practicing or what they? You didn't say practice what you preach, but like, was it something like be consistent and live up to the like? Well, that was to be consistent. You were explaining. Okay. What did you say after that? To be consistent. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. You just said it. I was following her. Yeah, be consistent. Um, I'm trying to remember what you said.
I got three. K. I got three. Then be consistent. Be a student of life, and be better.
Yeah, and I remember you just said be better before.
Yeah, so let me see. Big thing. I'm gonna type it in. Um, one, um, be consistent. And all this stuff is work. Um, be a student. You're always learning. And three, be better. All right. So feel those are 3 points.
Mhm. And how about you could also probably have Bible studies with your children. Read the Word of God to them.
And that's in part of being a student.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, that's a part of being a student because you can get perverted, you can get wisdom clips, and you can't formally because everybody's time is not conducive. But if you're a student, you can always teach.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah, we just don't rely to the church and the Christian school to teach you. You need to be the teacher. But if you're a student, you're always teaching because you're always learning. I think
Right.
that's the best. I think that's one of the best perks I like about getting the adjunct some of the positions. Is that I get the free books, and books cost 120 textbook, 120, 130. But I get free books because I'm a teacher. So I'm always a student. Keeps the mind fresh. Keeps it moving.
Mhm.
Pick, picked up a kid today. That kid all relevant to my age. He was biology and neurobiology um student. And I was like psyched because I mean he's talking about he's focused on the neurochemicals and the effects that emotions have on your brain chemistry. And he learned what brain which is affecting your biology. And he said, "Wow." I mean, I was excited that I said that was a good combination, biology and yeah, neurochemical, neuroscience,
Mhm.
neuropsychology, something like that. That was good. And what Phil said, a question for Renee: what was the one thing your parents taught you that you referred back to as an adult?
Well, um, that's a tricky question for me because I didn't grow up with my parents. Um, but I do remember I had a elementary school teacher. I was running around the hallways once and he stopped me. I used to respect him a lot. He was always caring towards me. And he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just running around hanging out with my friends." And he said, "Listen, don't call any and everybody your friends." He said, "If you're blessed, if you're lucky in life, you might make 3 or 4 really good friends." He said, "Those guys are not your friends, they're your acquaintances." And I've always remembered that, like, okay, yeah, there is a difference, you know, between true friendship and someone that you're just, acquainted with. Um, yeah, and that's something that always stuck with me.
I'm laughing because I tell my kids that, and my son's in the room right now, and he probably said, "Man, Dad told me that he be telling us that." I didn't think he was gonna say that, yeah, but that's quaint. And I was told that somewhat as well. Yeah, you think everybody? I think it's when you're in lower grades, your friends are your acquaintance. You assume your acquaintance is your friend, but time is the test of all things, and time gonna test your definition.
Hmm.
and because your judging skills are you still learning
Mm,
and learn to decipher. So you may think the person. I mean, a person doesn't give you any reason to believe that they're not loyal until they give you the reason. And I believe you need to log that. And those are different traits you need to look at to stay away from when these people don't mean you well. And when you're a little kid, they really don't know they don't mean you well. A lot of times they're doing what they learned to do from home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, wow.
Right. Okay, Phil, you have more questions? No. How about you, Renee?
Is there any more questions?
Yeah. Questions or statements?
Hmm. No, it's life is a journey, so many lessons to learn, you know. But I do believe that the best thing we can do is have a higher standard than yourself and always move. Like you always say, be better. I believe God is the best standard that any human being can ever have because he's infinitely wise and infinitely good. So it's like, as long as you're moving towards him, you're always getting towards better, you know. I think it's good to have a higher and better standard than yourself. So yeah, I think the ultimate source of good values is Jesus Christ.
Right. You want to read what Phil said?
My dad taught me to never spend my last money on one of three things: other people who won't return the favor, BS, and three, on fun stuff that won't pay the bills.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, now you can. Sometimes you spend people money on other people, just as an act of giving, and you don't expect anything in return. But like Pastor Lockett, I think was the one who first taught me this. Never give away any, never lend anything that you're not willing to give away or lose.
Right.
So I think you can spend money. Well, not your last. Okay, I see the statement now. My dad taught me never spend my last money on. Okay, well, yeah, because if it's your last, you probably can't afford it.
And you'll get it back, or then you
Mhm.
be kind of bitter. you
Right.
be kind, yeah, you be kind of bitter. Man, thought she gonna get it back to me, man. Shaking your leg, you look like Tyrone Biggins on Dave Chappelle. Man, man, come on now, I gotta get it.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I think that's good practice. It take away the anxiety. It put anxiety from you.
Mhm.
All right. So what do you think about my I'm ending, but my segments that I'm trying to implement. Do you remember?
You said a number of things. Which one are
Right.
you referring?
Or all
Which
of the
one you?
segments that I'm trying to implement. I have not implemented all of them.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. It's always growing, right? Always evolving. Why not?
Yeah, but which are the segments though? Which are segments that I said I was going to implement?
Um, so you wanted to add it where people can suggest, what was it? Was it video commentary? What you saying? Or questions about content?
Uh, um, yeah, commentary. I mean, reaction videos. Man, I asked y'all the other day. Send me some reaction videos, some videos so I can do a response.
Yeah, I
So I
think
can,
that's a good idea. There's
yeah,
a number of people on YouTube I follow that have really good reaction videos. Yeah, so I do like that.
and
Uh,
then guided meditations. Um, and I got to ride and share. Um, I have our friend told me, she said, listen, a lot of people do reactionary videos, but they don't have a YouTube channel. They just have fan pages. They don't really have the content that I have. She said you do good because people then will look at your content.
Okay, okay.
Phil said, "Bring on the crazies from Uber rides. Bring on the crazies." I'm trying to work the mechanism on the car. I think I got another phone. I could use the phone, but I don't know how to download it from that phone to the video per se. The other phone gives good video, but what good is it to give good video if I can't get it off the phone?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so a lot of times I end up doing a disclaimer with the while I'm doing the interviewing the individual saying, listen, I have a YouTube channel. I'm about to do interview with you. Are you okay with it? And if they're okay, and then I started out with what's your end game or some more questioning, and then I said I'm gonna take you down the path and walk them down. Right, so that's our role. So I think I need to try to work on that soon, so I can get that in play. I decided share I did the polish up. I got like three of them I downloaded uh today, so I may be able to download them tonight. Because I probably got about 10 of them in the phone that I have not shipped it to YouTube because I got edited. Yeah. Anything else?
Hmm?
All right. All hearts and minds clear.
My heart and mind is clear and deep.
All right. I'm rolling out. I'm
Have a good night. God bless everyone.
all right. All right. Hey, gentlemen, gentlemen, this is the Hero's Journey with Dr. D. Hey, we're ending it. If you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you by if you're on my Instagram platform, go ahead and follow and see what the end going to be and what I drop in. Because generally I drop in the Instagram before I drop it into the YouTube. YouTube calls for a little bit more in-depth editing. But if you find any value in this content, help me help you so we can help others by clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing, and even following. Because when you do that, what you do is you grow with me, you build with me, and you help me make it better tomorrow, today. So this is a Hero Journey with Dr. D. And don't remember, at the end of this video, if especially on the replay, you should see some playlists on the left or the right hand side. Always look down below, right over here, and you'll see my website. Go to heroseeks.org if you'd like a little bit more and see what my service entail and what we offer other than the YouTube channel. And check out my audio podcast, The Hero's Journey with Dr. D, the podcast. Comment, share it, and remember, every day you get vertical, make it your goal in life to always move forward and never move back. It is pivotal that you always look forward and never move back because life is too short to live it looking in the rearview mirror. It's definitely too short to live it looking in the rearview mirror. So, so this is a hero's journey, and with Dr. D, and we are out. I don't want to sound like I'm gonna get this thing. I can't believe it came up. Come on. Just look at me, right? All right, here we go. Like I see Heroes Journey with Dr. D. We are out. That's your ending.